Oh, what about ye? 2016 Ford Edge. This one is a 2 litre diesel, all-wheel drive, turbo diesel. Same engine that's in Mondeos. You can get them in Fiestas as well. Very Range Rover-y looking at the front, this vehicle. So yeah, it's a bit of a like an SUV thing. So it's in for service. It's going to go for its MOT in this country. 4 years old, and it's going to go for MOT. So this is 4 years old. We'll just do a diesel filter, and we'll maybe show an air filter as well. And yeah, okay. So here we go, 2 litre turbo diesel, 180 horsepower, this one, of Ford's finest, but it's a PSA engine. I think we'll give her a quick blast of the airline first. So our diesel filter resides under here, underneath that plastic cap there. And there's our Peugeot Citroen logo, Ford Motor Company, and the wee lion and the Citroen mark. So onto our diesel fuel filter change here. And as I said, common in Mondeos is 2 litre TCI, the TDCI, the Mark V Mondeo sort of engine. You'll get this. So 3/8 mils. First of all, this metal cap. That's that, out of the road. And more Peugeot Citroen there. So easy enough to do this, and generally speaking, you don't need to bleed it. So unlike a lot of other Fords, where you do have a problem bleeding it, and there's no in-tank pump. So this one here, because it's sitting down in a bowl, there's diesel in it. So yeah. Nobody bleeds these, so generally you're okay if you keep the bowl full of diesel. Now you can suck the diesel out. There is actually a wee drain tap in them, or you can swab it out with towels or something and get a wee look in it. Generally, I don't, So unless you think that bowl is really dirty or mucky or something like that, then yeah, clean it out. But generally speaking, it's fine. So first of all, what we want to do, there'll be diesel in these lanes here. So that's where the diesel comes in, and that's where the diesel comes out. So there will be a bit of spillage. So you don't want to get diesel over these electrical connectors or anything like that, because, well, it doesn't do these seals any good, getting diesel or anything on these seals. So it makes them go all mushy. So you lose that. And this particular one, there's an electrical connector down in here. So I'm gonna pop it, because it's just like a blanker, just to get it out of the way. So just pop it off. It's on with what they call a Christmas tree lug there. So we'll just bend that out of the way, and then we'll get a few rags down in here. Now, generally speaking, this is really simple. The only caveat is this pipe. This pipe here is normally fine because there's plenty of movement in it. There's plenty of movement in it. It's just above the picture there. But this one here, this pipe here that I'm pointing at, it'll only go back so far. There's only about 1/4 of an inch or something travel on it. So sometimes they can be a bit of a curse. Now what we could do is we could lift this one, pop this one off out of the way, and that might give it a wee bit more, because we want it to go back. So we need that one there to go back the way. So first of all, we'll get a few towels or whatever it is, rags or something, in around here. Go. There's a few rags in, just for the spillage. There will, as I said, there will be diesel in here. So we'll pop this wee tab up, and it doesn't come up very far. And then with both sides, these things, you need to be careful with these, but you don't need to force anything. So you just push that down with your 2 fingers, and then this pipe just slides out like that, just a wee bit of a wiggle, and out she comes, and we just have to leave that sort of hanging. Then the next one is the same thing. So there's a wee centerpiece like that, just like that, and you pop it. You can just about see it behind the thing there. So again, we push it, and we'll get a screwdriver in just to help us push the bottom piece, and again it should come out. Now if we need to, we can help it along with the screwdriver. We can give it a wee prise. Let's see, is it going to come? Need a bigger screwdriver. Well, I'll get a bigger screwdriver. There we go. Just that wee click there, and slide her off like so. So as I say, on some models, some of the Mondeo models, this pipe doesn't go back very well. So I'll just show you. There's a better view of that. So I lifted this one, I unclipped this one, and that'll allow that to go back a wee bit further. So you can see the green one here. That's out of its clip position, and that allowed that to go back. So sometimes that pipe's a bit of a problem on some of these designs. So that's us ready to remove this. So it's just a 24 mil socket. I'm using a 3/8 drive here. Now you may notice I've put gloves on. So I didn't have gloves on for removing the pipes because I like to feel these wee delicate clips with my fingertips, So, and if you have problems with dermatitis or anything like that, then you put gloves on for this. But if you can prevent getting diesel under your hands, then that's all the better. Some people don't bother, but there's bacteria in diesel apparently. So, right, we'll give this a wee. So it's just the normal anti-clockwise. Now, and we'll make sure the pipes aren't catching. It's not catching it. So you need to watch these here. You see, these things can break, with the heat of the engine, plastics get brittle. You need to be mindful of that. Right, we can see it now. This pipe here, I've seen these here snap off, and you need to buy a whole complete cover, and they're about 100 quid to replace. And if you have your car on the ramp, your car ain't going anywhere if you bust that. So hopefully that'll just ride over that one. And after our turn solution's up, just making sure she doesn't catch anything. So now she's loose, we can hold these up and take that off by hand. And that's our cap. And with a new filter, you'll get that seal, so we'll change that seal. So this filter's just clicked in, and you can just pull it with your hands, really. You don't need to do anything else. And we'll just let her drain in a wee bit. Now, let's have a wee look. This filter, yeah, it's not bad. It's a bit black on it, so yeah, could do with changing. This car, this is the first time I've serviced this car. It has been under warranty, so apparently it has been serviced by the dealer in the past. It's so it's first service out of warranty, and we'll just have a wee look. Yeah, so there's a Peugeot Citroen logo on the filter, as you can see. So yeah, there she is, and so that's a genuine part, or it's been in there from new, because it is black enough looking. So what we want to do is have a wee look in this diesel here and see if there's any muck or any debris. If you see bits of metal, it can tell you that your high pressure pump's failing. Now there actually is some wee bits of metal, but they're very, very small. I don't think it's anything really worth worrying about, but I think I'm going to clean this bowl out. So there we go. There is a bit of debris down in there. So I would hazard a guess that this filter's never been changed. So I think there's 41,000. I don't know where I mentioned that or not. 41,000 miles. So okay, we'll suck this diesel out and give this a wee bit of a clean out. Now, there is like a drain tap. There's a wee screw at the back there, and there's a bit of a pipe, and it'll actually drain underneath the car. But that's a bit of a flaff, so it's easier just to suck it out. So I'm going to just do that with a wee hand syringe, and you could put rags in there and just sort of mop it out, if you wanted to. So we'll give her a wee bit of a clean out then. So it's a shop towel. It's a bit like kitchen roll, and it mops it up there for us. We'll hopefully get rid of that debris in the bowl. It was nothing really to worry about now. If you do see sort of large shards of metal in there, it is a bit of a problem now. Your high pressure pump could be breaking up. But if you do see, like looking up into the night sky with stars, and you do normally see it, so a wee taste of metal fins is actually, it's going to be present, So you get that from the high pressure pump, and also from so okay, time for a new filter, and there we go. So the new filter just clicks in. Just like that. And so you'll know when it's seated. It's grand. So because we've taken a bit of diesel out, and this is now empty, we're going to have to put a wee bit of diesel in here. And if we don't want to start to set up a bleed, So we'll put a wee taste in, fill it about halfway up. There we go. We'll give them a wee taste for luck. That'll be more than enough to get her going. So that's our old O-ring off, and that's a new one that came with the filter. And what I like to do, a lot of people mightn't like this, but I put a wee taste of engine oil on these threads, and on this seal, just a wee taste, and you let it go round there. Now, if the engine oil gets in with the diesel, it's going to be minute. It's not going to be an awful lot, but it doesn't half assist. I see a lot of people. You might see a lot of people putting these caps on, these type of filter caps with these seals on, and you hear it creaking and getting on, you know. Now you can put, you know, you can put a wee taste of diesel. You dip your finger in there and put a wee taste of diesel in it if you want. A lot of people do that. I actually prefer putting a wee bit of engine oil around it, and it's just what I keep, a wee bit of engine oil in a wee tin there, and a wee pumper can. So that really will assist in putting that on. So there's none of this creaking and getting on, and you're catching this here, you know. So that's what I like to do, and never had any problems. You know, as you can see, you know, it's not dripping off it or anything like that. You know, so you don't plaster it with it. You know, so if a wee taste does get in with diesel, it's not going to do any harm at all. But anyway, so little of it, you know. So we'll hold these boils out of the way here for ourselves, and we'll start this by hand. And she's wanting to catch on there. That wee pipe, let's stick on. So we just need to watch we don't catch any of our rags in there. In fact, we could maybe, well, we could take them out maybe. Should be alright. Right, so that's her started. And we'll get her hoofed around. So, just checking. Our eggs aren't catching there. In fact, you know what we'll do? We'll pull them out. At this moment. That's the last thing we want. Causes more of a hindrance. But they did their job. So you notice the way it's not scracking or creaking or, you know. And you just go around till it stops. And that's it. So on with the pipes. Now, as I said, on some models, this one here doesn't go back very far. I have this one unclipped, this green one here, this one with the green bit. So I'm just going to lift this up, and I'm going to tease it back. So if you're going to have to put any force on this or anything like that, just stop what you're doing, you know, because just watch when you're doing this. So, and this one here, as you can see, it's sort of going on at a bit of an angle. So I'll maybe get you in a better position for that. So it doesn't want to go on straight because there's just not there's not enough flex in the pipe. Now you might think, well, is this not, you know, tightened enough? This one here is going in dead straight there. You can see that. So that's a gift. So we'll just keep that out of the way. This is always the problem child. So we might get away with putting a tool on it, a pair of pliers, but you need to be really careful with these delicate plastics. I can't sort of stress that enough. So we sort of need to go down. I need to lift that up out of the road. And there we go. It just needed a wee bit of encouragement. So what we do then is I'm going to find my wee screwdriver, any wee terminal screwdriver, and so just pop that bowl back in again, like that. You see that? So just pop that in there, and that won't back off. This one here is a gift. This one here just like so, and push her down in. So we'll just reseat a few of these pipes. That's happening then, and one over here that came out of its seat. So that's our pipes all in place. and we'll get a wee bit of rag. We'll just give her a wee bit of a douse and clean her up a wee bit and around there. Maybe a wee quick douse of brake clean. Not too much. And I'll evaporate off and the engine warms up a wee bit. So you wouldn't know her there. Get our electrical plug back into position here again. Down in there, if you can see it. See where it goes. Where's my torch? Our Christmas tree connector. That's her, and not forgetting this, which is probably a water sensor. I'm gonna click that back into position again. So that's us. So, well, because we'll have diesel in this bowl, this thing should start no problem. Famous last words. High five. So there we go. That's it. Just do a couple of startups, 2 or 3 startups. So it starts dead on. There's no extended crank there. As long as you have a bit of diesel in there, you're grand. No bleeding at all. So the only thing left to do, we've got our app connected. That connected. That's fine. All our hoses are clipped in. So we're happy to reinstate our little bracket, making sure it's not going to chop any wires, of course. So get a few screws in. A few screws. Now, that there, normally people call that a bolt, but if you have a captive, if you have a captive nut, that is then technically a screw. So there you go. A wee bit pedantic, but some people sometimes in the comments like to pull you on trivia, you know. Which is largely irrelevant, you know. But that's the world we're living in. So yeah, where's it right now? Yeah. Okay, I think we'll just quickly put the air filter in there. Okay, on the air filter, easiest thing in the world to do. The only thing is, I did give it a blast with the air line, as you saw at the start, and you just don't want, you know, we're trying to make it the air to be filtered, you know, going into the intake, so you don't want any dirt. What I see an awful lot is that people just change the air filter, but they don't clean out the air box. In some cases, you know, you need to take the air box out and clean it out properly, and I see them in some occasions. You think there was somebody had shoveled a spade of soil in it, you know. So that ruins your air filter because, you know, it just sucks all that up again. So, don't make out this. There's no make on it. Made in Spain. So I was trying to be looking, there's 47,000 miles in this. Just when I was in starting it up, we got the mileage there. And well, I don't know. Serviced at the dealer, he says. So we'll have a look inside the airbox. Lovely. So later up a bit for you. Yeah, well, I'm not going to bother taking the box out. We'll get rid of those big bits of debris and just give it a rub around with a rag. Bit of brake cleaner on it, and I think she should be grand at that. What we'll maybe do is, well, you can't see it, it's off camera a wee bit, but it's the intake, you know, up in where the mouth is. I'm just going to put a rag up in there, and we'll grab the air line and give it a scoot. Okay, happy enough for that. So, a wee bit of difference with that one. Do the one that came out of it. So, that'll let the engine breathe and you'll get better mile to the gallon just by doing that. So yeah, I don't know what the service history of this thing is. I'll be totally honest with you. Well, okay, that's it for this video. I'm going to do an oil change as well. I'm not going to show that because it's pretty draining fill. There's nothing really special about it. There's plastic sump bung. It's no big deal. The only thing I will say is if you are going to do a full service on this yourself and change the oil, take 6.5 litres of low SAPS oil, C2 grade. And the thing that we noticed about these engines is that the spin-on oil filter, we've got a lot of these and they're very loose. This one was loose and it was a bit, you know, there's a few drips on it or whatever. So when you're tightening the oil filter on, tighten it on by hand and the usual manner, and tighten it, you nearly tighten it more than you would normally tighten a spin-on oil filter on. It's been noted that these engines, the oil filters, loosen up, so they're in from the bottom and the screw end, you know, and they're at the front of the engine. So there's no point me showing you that. Like, well, in fact, there's the one off this engine. So it is the one I took off this, and it's a man filter. It's not branded Ford, so maybe this wasn't serviced at dealer. I don't know, but anyway, that's the exact one that I put on again. And these here, I found that I could have just turned that. I just turned that off from my hand, you know, and there was a bit of oil at the bottom of it here, you know. So whenever you put these oil filters back on again, you know, I have a cup that fits on that, and I give it a good nip, you know, a good nip up, because these have been found to loosen. So that's the only wee tip I can give you for that. Apart from that, it's standard stuff, you know. and that's the part number of the oil filter. You do not get a new seal with the sump bung with the oil filter. I reused it in this case, but I think after a few years, you maybe need to order that seal separately from Ford, and if maybe the next service I do in this car, I'll recommend that we change the seal on the sump plug. It's a plastic sump plug, but it's fine the way it is at the minute without changing it, and a lot of the guys don't normally change the seal on the sump plug. So that's all I can tell you. Hope that helps. The diesel filter, just watch yourself for the plastic pipes. That's really about it. So thanks for watching. Hope you get something out of it. All the hairy chest, and